everyone. Thank you for tuning in. In the lead up to World Poetry Day on March the 21st, I'm interviewing some of the poets who stuck with us at the Book Dragon. Today I'm joined by Julia Stebbing. Hi, Julia.
Hi, good afternoon. Lovely to meet you.
And you. And you very kindly agreed to answer some questions for us today. So I'd like to start by kicking off with, when did you first discover your gift for writing poetry or verse?
I used to write song lyrics, as did a lot of people, and I really used to enjoy that. And then as the children got older, I stopped. And I think it was actually during COVID. I thought, no, too old for song lyrics, but let's give writing in verse a go. And that's when I started, and I really, really enjoy it.
Oh, that's
So
wonderful.
that's what I do.
And which poets inspired you?
I don't know if any poet particularly inspired me. We used to read Auden at school and Robert Browning and all those sort of things, but we had to read them. And I didn't find it easy. I used to write, we had to learn Psalms by heart when I was at primary school, I think. And I used to read a lot in verse. I don't know if anything particularly inspired me, but maybe as I got older, reading books to my children, that sort of thing. You know, the Gruffalo type things, I find it an easy read and quite soothing. And I like the lyrical quality and how it almost, relates to songwriting as well.
Yeah, that sort of melodic flow. And what is your favourite poem by another poet?
I don't have a favorite poem, but I think if you said to me, recite a poem, I would say something like The Owl and the Pussycat went to sea in a beautiful pea green boat. I also somehow I like the relevance of nursery rhymes. I like that you have to learn those off by heart. And if I go into a classroom, because I enjoy taking my books to school, and I'm talking to young children, because I've written much books for, 3 to 7-year-olds. And I say, I'm sure all of you know a poem, and they might look at me. And I say to them, I'll say one word, and you will know the poem. And they look, and I say, twinkle.
Yeah.
And they know, Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, which was actually, I looked it up. It was written in 1806.
Wow.
And is so popular still. I think it's remarkable. But that's the
Yeah.
sort of thing I like. Yes.
It's amazing. And what is your favourite poem that you've written yourself or verse? And could you recite a few lines for us?
Fine. I will recite the whole poem.
Mm-hmm.
It is Humpty sat on the top of a wall. That's why the inspectors came to call. You silly egg, get down straight away. Where you are sitting is not safe to stay. Humpty sat with a virtuous look on his face, refusing to budge from his righteous place, until suddenly a great sound was heard, and a most dreadful accident occurred. Humpty fell to the ground from this great height. His insides spilled out. What a fearsome sight! The king's men fought to eat his remains, from the white to the yolk to the sticky membranes, and gobbled him up as fast as they could. Who would believe Humpty tasted so good? Now Humpty has gone without a farewell, leaving behind just an empty shell.
That is sad, but beautifully written.
Thank you very much. I enjoyed writing that. So, I mean, anyone can, if you're not sure what to write, you can take a nursery rhyme and change it round. I think they're quite adaptable.
So that leads us on to, what advice would you give to anyone who's wanting to start writing poetry or verse?
I think, obviously, give it a go, do it. But I think you do need a sense of rhythm and you do need a sense of rhyme. I mean, home does not rhyme with loan. I was taught grammar very well at school. It's one of the things. I saw some friends the weekend. We were talking about how well we were taught. Me and my friend went to the cinema. You might say that as well, but I just makes me cringe. And I think, you need to know good grammar. I think of Dolly Parton, who said it costs a lot of money to look this cheap or to look this good, whatever she said. And it's quite difficult to write something that sounds simple. So you need to work at it. You learn your craft, you listen to songs, you read poems, and you get on with it. And then you get other people to read it. And also you need to go, if you write something today, you need to look at it a week later, because sometimes where you put the stresses aren't right. So, but enjoy and give it a go. I'm not one to give advice. I mean, if you want to write, then write. I think that's what you should do. I know you've got the Women in Verse behind you, which is more for 8 to 11-year-olds. I loved writing about those women because, amazing women, but I found that quite difficult. I think I like writing picture books. So I don't do the illustrations, but I get someone to do the illustrations, and that's good fun. I love watching them take shape.
And you can buy Remarkable Woman in Verse, which, as Julia said, is
Yes.
behind me, as well as Julie. Sorry, go on. I was going to say, your delightful children's books are on sale as well.
Yes. Sorry, I hope everybody enjoys the books. They're cute,
yes.
kids' books.
And
Yes.
they're available at 6 West Straw, Stockton on Tees, or from our website, thebookdragon.co.uk. Thank you for joining us, Julia, and thank you all for watching. See you next time.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.